Welcome to the Mentor Studio, where today's thought leaders and leading entrepreneurs inspire and bring real-world ideas that help you take your career to levels you've only dreamed of. Now buckle in. Here's your host, Michael Silvers.
Well, welcome everybody back to another episode of the Mentor Studio podcast. And my co-host is here, it's Donna Campbell. Give Donna a big round of applause.
Hello.
Donna's done just with her life, obviously those of you, I'm not going to go through everything I've done before, but I've been on stages for 22 years at the Mentor Studio. My business partner is Mary Glorfield, who was Tony Robbins' VP for 18 years. How's that? Is that good? And if you want to join us at the Mentor Studio, just go to thementorstudio.com. You can see all the podcasts. Boom, I see all those podcasts. You can see how to join us on the front page. The membership is $4.95 a year, and you're a member, and you can be a mentor, and boom, your life is good. It's just great to have all of you on today. And we are coming because we're all over the world, right? We have mentors all over the world. We're now zooming in live from Japan, and I'm going to turn this over to Donna for the introductions. But Donna Campbell is one of our lead trainers at the Mentor Studio. She's built an amazing business. She's worked with healing all over the planet and also played with other people's money in the tune of $500 million. So it just means that she is responsible for what she does, but it's really about healing and making a difference in others' lives. Is why she's here. So let's turn it over to Donna Campbell.
All right. Thank you so much. And it is my distinct pleasure to introduce you to our next speaker, our next podcast guest host. One of those. Maybe you should be hosting the podcast. She started as a prep school teacher during college. And what she did was she encouraged and heightened many students from the least performing to being the top in their performance class through their mindset, just to conquer their weakness. And she, anytime was given in a plan, promoted sales 1.5 times greater than the initial plan by introducing them and understanding the difference in cultural differences and communication. She is also the creator of the Shine Younique program, emphasizing the cross-cultural differences through empowerment, strength, and research on mind development. And through bullying and discrimination that she received in childhood, she was able to fast forward with all of those cultural challenges, divorce, abuse, moral harassment. She's come really to the understanding of spirituality and life, and that can be combined to embrace your own uniqueness. And she truly has a heart of gold. She is a mother of 5. She's happily married, and she's a professional interpreter. And she is a heart-centered life healing. So let's all welcome Akemi Kajihara. So thank you so much for being here today. Share with us a little bit about your background and some of the things that you've accomplished along the way.
Thank you for introducing me. I think you just kind of introduced me pretty well. So I have been doing healings for almost 10 years. And before that, I was a prep school teacher. And before that, I was a salesperson. No, after that, I was a salesperson. So all the years I've been having all these challenges through my life until I started healings. And the healings actually changed my mindset and actually realized what I was doing before I started healings. And now I get to implement that into people's lives and change their lives in order for them to move forward. And so that's me. And just the truth is, I have gone through the very end of the least, the yucky part of the life that everybody has gone through. And I did find a way to get out of it. And here I am in one piece. I am healthy, I'm strong. And the biggest part of me would be I can see clearly now. I had glaucoma, and I had to get over all the obstacles in order for me to really recognize what was going on in my life in order for me to move forward. And that was the healing part of my journey. So many things are connected with your problems in your life, and I get to unfold them and actually share with you to see what's going on and change your life. So that's me. Was that enough?
Yeah, no, that's perfect. The great thing is that there are challenges and things that come up in our life, and we have a decision at that point. of which way we want to go down the path. And I know sometimes it's not, you can't see the forest through the trees, right? Sometimes it's not clear. I get that part, but there has to be that decision point. Sometimes it's other people around you. Sometimes it's being of service to others. What propelled you to go down that path to get healed?
So the beginning was I gave birth to my daughter. See, and then the second one came. Well, I was going through a bad marriage at that time, but I still had kids. There's a lot of questions about it, but life goes on. And then when I had my third child, they told me I wasn't seeing well and I had blockages in my eyes. And they told me, you may lose your sight. I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? Yeah, I do have headaches. I am nauseous sometimes. And then the thing was, if I can't see my children growing up and I can't see what I have in my life, what I'm not going to get the great peace out of my life. So that's the turning point. That was the beginning, but I thought that was the beginning. But the real beginning was when I was in childhood, that I was actually, everything was happening in front of me was actually something that I didn't want to see and I didn't want to feel. So I closed myself up, and all the sum came when I had my children. So that's my turning point.
Wow. Donna?
Now, yeah, I know a little bit more because I've known you for a number of years. When you were younger, what were some of the things that happened for you that you weren't able to see or didn't want to see? Because I know it has to do around with bullying and cross cultures and being in different countries, living. So share with us some of those earlier pieces.
So what was happening in front of me or to me was bullying, something that comes from the outside. But the things that were happening inside of me was not being able to be understood, not being accepted in society because I like different. And also my parents or my mother was not in the best condition because we all moved to a different culture and they could not accept the changes themselves. So they weren't actually doing well, so they couldn't treat me well. And that was like the little, how do you call it? Those little wheels that are not going together. And so what I didn't want to see is what I didn't want to feel.
Yeah, and that it is those things, especially now. You're in Japan right now, correct?
Yes, I am in Japan.
Fantastic. And sometimes it's even within our own culture, within our own community, that there's challenges, right? And challenges are not good or bad. It's our perception is what we make of it. And also there's things in our life that we've either a book we've read or a podcast that we've been part of or listened to. What is it, something like, what stands out for you? A book you've read that everybody could go out and buy right now that can make a difference in their life, or a podcast you're listening to that's something they should jump on?
Book that you can read. The book that you can read to change your life. For me, it was the book called Theta Healing, because that's when I started to really look into my life and got the tools to see into my life. And then the other one was it's a book. Donna knows the book. What was the name of the book?
Oh,
the picture book. Yes, the one that you gave me.
Old Turtle and the Broken Truth.
What's it called again?
Old Turtle and the Broken Truth by Douglas Wood.
Wow.
That book just had the messages that I needed for me. It's you just got to read it. It's a picture book. It's for kids. It's so easy. There's not such many words on it, but the truth is like the biggest key. And the truth that you think is the truth is not the truth. And then it's actually inside you. And then you'll get the message when you see the book.
Oh,
yes,
you do.
It. And it has some of the most amazing pictures and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Because you go on a journey to find yourself on the inside. So what would be one of your favorite quotes or something that you use or that you say often for yourself?
The quote, well, actually, it's a word that my prep school teacher. So I went to prep school. So it's an additional school to school. Okay. And then my teacher kept on telling me that I need to ride the tide when I'm nervous. So anything that's happening, sad, or anything that's wrong in your life, you always have that rush in your body, that heart beating moment. ride the tide, ride your emotions, not being sucked in it, ride it.
There's a theme here for me today about water and tides with all of that. A previous quote was rising tides lift all boats. So
Really?
yes, I will really right in alignment there. It's pretty fun. So one of the things you started creating and putting together is the Shine Younique program. So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so the Shine Younique program. So what you get to do is right now it's like a 6-week program. It's an interactive program with you and me. I get to be the one that does the project and the program with you. And we sit down and go through your life and see what were the key elements that actually made you you. So you're going to actually go through what are the components that you have in you and see, and then we dig down to what has been stopping you to move forward and what has been the points that you truly wanted to do but couldn't do, and we get to see what's stopping you and blocking you, and then we take those blocks away and get to the true essence that you have and make it shine and use the abilities that you have to move forward. So it's more likely like an opening up yourself and opening your boxes and see what's inside and get it out and use it. So that's what it is. But the boxes are just not in this lifetime because see, I go to the spiritual aspect. It's going to be in your ancestors. It's going to be in your culture, your group consciousness, all the goodies that you have in you. And we're going to take it out and implement it into your life so that you can move forward and shine and succeed.
I love it. And as you have students who do that or people who need healing, and I know you two also do a big a live broadcast, right? I don't know, what is if I was listening to your show or I'm listening to this one and I literally it's the only thing I've ever heard from you, and I'm listening to this piece right now. It's all I have time for. I'm about to head back to work. What are 3 things you could help me with that I could put into action right now? 3 simple steps. What could I do?
3 simple steps. So number 1, first thing in the morning, wake up and give yourself a good compliment and praise yourself. Okay. And then if you feel anything negative happening, just tell yourself, oh, it's just for today, for this moment, and just let it go. Letting go would be a biggest key. Complimenting yourself, praising yourself, accepting yourself as who you are. And the third one, that's second, that's third. The third one is anything that happens in your life, negative and positive, all have meanings. So seek for the meaning. And the meaning is always positive. It might be just positive for you, but it's a positive thing. And just ask yourself what you're getting out of it and what are you learning. And then
because you're an entrepreneur, obviously, and the entrepreneur road is not an easy road. It's not that it's easy or not easy, right? It's what we make of it. What and I know you're on a mission, and I understand it's about healing and it's truly helping other and being of service. But that road still has the bumps. Do you have an idea of the path you're taking and where you'd like to be a year from now or so?
From a year now or so, I do make plans for myself, my ideal self in 10 years. So in 10
Fantastic.
years, I have an ideal self, and this is where I want to be. And I always have that vision. I renew it every year so that I have something that is way beyond me. And it's my aim to move forward. And I do have one that I always say is when I die, all the pictures and all the memories that I will see are good ones. And that's my ultimate goal. It's just to have a good memory on this planet and go home with that good memory and be proud of myself.
I love it. I once had actually a client. It was interesting because I think I'm trying to remember, I think she was 86 and she'd signed up for a lot of courses down in New Zealand. And so I was doing a little coaching with her. This has to be 15 years ago. I wonder if I could even try to contact her. But and it was we did the 10-year plan. We always did with them. It's basically you woke up. You woke up in the morning. Your eyes just opened up. What do you see, hear, and feel? And you write it out for the whole day. And there was a moment that part of me said, should I be giving this to her? Like, that what if she doesn't see anything? And I thought, well, then it's all about me. And I gave it to her, and she came back a week later with this beautiful life in 10 years. And, she's like, from the day I was born, I don't know. So why would I not do that exercise? Why would I not feel that into that 10 years from today? And her 10 years today was really interesting because it was very much around people around her too, and where their lives would be, but still focused on the beauty, the gratitude, the moment. And she said after she wrote it, like it gave her even, she loved life. She lived life to the fullest. She had traveled the world and it was amazing, her life. But it said, she said, I have so much more to do. I got to get on it. And it was one of those great experiences that, really, it's not about planning out your life. It's not about because you're not in control, right? It's not what it's about, but it's being able to see that 10 years or 15 or 20 years, and you keep going. You keep going. So I love that you said that, and really that had that visual and where you're going from there, and making it very visual. So you can, right? So you can feel it, you can hear it, and you can see it. Donna?
Yeah. And that 86-year-old lady, she had it right all along. And it's really, truly about love and loving life. And one of the things I love to say is live the life you love and love the life you live. So share with us, what are a few things that you absolutely love in your life that's a non-negotiable? For me, I love to travel, see other places, see other cultures, experience life. And then I love to come home because this is my grounding place. So what are some things that are non-negotiables for you that you absolutely love?
What I absolutely love is the smell of my children. And I hope they don't grow up, but I know eventually they will. But I'm counting on my grandchildren that they smell nice. The thing is, smell is very important for me because when I go into nature, I smell the nature. So smelling the scent, and it has to be really good. That's something that's non-negotiable for me. Yeah. And I do like to smell in different countries. So when I travel, I love to look into to the places that you go and eat, and there's all these different scents and the spices that they make. So I do have a good nose. So I am a little picky where I go, but the smell that I love is just something that I can't just say no to. And I have things that I will say yes to.
All right. I have to ask this question. Sorry, Michael. Where's the favorite place you've traveled to? Because I know you've traveled all over the world by your favorite smell. Your favorite place by your favorite smell.
Okay, so I may be a little weird, but it's Montana in Big Fork. And it's like the beginning of the fire season. Not the very end. I like the smell of the scent of the smoke that just starts, like the beginning of it, not the middle, because that's when you start suffocating. But the trees actually give out this incredible smell that actually kind of warns you, but it actually teaches you so many things, and I just love that smell. So
isn't
that's
that
what I love.
Isn't that interesting too? Because I a place that I've been to, which some people say because it's old, it's ancient, it has a little bit. I love Rome. I've been to Rome, I think 5 times, 6 times, and for me, there's something magical within Rome, and there is. I'm like, to me, it doesn't smell moldy or old, or Rome can be a little. It's not dirty, but it just is. It's an old city. To me, there's some magic within that, let alone all the pizza places and the great food. There's a magical smell to it. And I just, the minute I hit Rome, I know I'm there. I know I'm there, and I know where I'm going. And right down from the Vatican, there's this great restaurant, and I know the smell of when I start walking down the main avenue, which I can't remember the name of for the moment. That's that olfactory. It triggers in us our memories, our senses, how we're feeling. And it's magical. It's just magical. And I love that you could point that out so well too, that made such a difference. And I'm amazing. I still have smell because I was born and raised in Los Angeles. We had a lot of smog. So when I realized there were blue skies above, life was good. But, it is that part of ourselves that we really take in. So any last thing you'd like to tell our audience? Just, Oh, I know. Here's the one. Tell us one thing about yourself nobody else knows.
Oh, that question. I love macaroni and cheese and American food and devil cakes and all those things that people do not say that spiritual and healers don't eat, do not eat. I am a very junk food eater.
I love it. Okay, that's awesome because mac and cheese is that is awesome.
You gotta have it. You gotta
Yeah, the
have
devil
it.
food
Now
cakes,
they have
that's great.
keto mac and cheese. Did you know this?
No, I
Ooh,
didn't.
oh,
Cheese
no.
Gotta
mac
go to
and cheese.
Costco.
I'm
It's
going.
there. I haven't tried it, but apparently a case ended up in my basement.
Oh, I'm going Cheeto mac and cheese because my granddaughter, what do you want this week for your mac and cheese? It's always mac and
Mhm.
cheese. I'll make you anything else, mac and cheese. So, it's awesome. Just awesome. Well, thank you so much, Akemi, for being on today. Thank you for
Yes,
being
thank
part of the
you.
show. It's been a joy. Thank you for beaming in from Japan for us, getting up early and it's all about the healing and the education and entertainment. Would you like the audience to reach out to you, and is there a place they can do that?
Yes, they can actually type Akemi Kajihara on Facebook, and you can find me. Instagram would be at Akemi_Astro Hearts. And you can also find me, just Google and put Astro Hearts and I'll appear.
Fantastic. I could spell her name, but you guys will all see it in the show notes. It'll be on the site. It'll be on the podcast. It's under the YouTube. And that just makes it different. So I wanted to thank everybody for being on today. This has been great. We're a worldwide, obviously, organization. We're going to beam somebody in. We got to get somebody who's up on the space station. Okay, that's our next thing. We're going to work on that.
I'll work on
We're
it.
going to put somebody back on the moon, and we'll go for. Yes, I know you will. But I wanted to thank you again for being on the show. For those listening to us at the Mentor Studio, and I didn't give this out the last couple of times, but if you're in the U.S., this is for the United States, you can always text the word, the letters TMS to 26786. TMS to 26786. You get directly linked to us. You get more information. You get put into the complimentary. We have a complimentary Facebook group for anybody where we just mentor, and we have calls every single Thursday. And I wanted to thank everybody for being on. It's been a great show as usual for myself and Donna and the Mentor Studio. Akemi, thank you so much for being part of it. And any last things before I let them all go?
Thank you for having me here and the Mentor Studio. It's awesome. I learned a lot, and just everyone come and join because it's a great group community.
Awesome.
One
Awesome.
family.
Yeah, one family, one team, one community. It's the best. All right, everybody, have an amazing morning, afternoon, or evening. I'll talk to everybody very soon. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
We're honored that you invested time with us today at the Mentor Studio. Now, don't be greedy. Share this knowledge bomb with all your dope peeps on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. Actually, we'll even pay you to do it. To get the deets, please check out thementorstudio.com.